scared to charge more.
And you don't want to feel like, oh my gosh.
They want something to make them feel alive, to catch their attention for a second.
Right. You know that song from Foreigner? It's like, I've been waiting for a girl like you. Well, so I'm like, I've been waiting for a brand like yours. Get it. Go get it or don't get it. Like,
get that bag. I love that. Hi.
So how's it going? How's it been going?
It's been great. I'm gonna take the advice of Jessica Parada. She's a UGC creator. She was one of the first that I saw, and she always says when it gets overwhelming or when it feels overwhelming, just take it as an abundance. Take it all in, right?
And no, it's a good problem to have, right? Look at it.
Yes.
Good. I know. Yes. I feel that. Last month was super crazy, and then this month has been like really slow, and I'm like, this hot and cold is like, oh my god.
Yes, and I was at that point where I wasn't too deterred, but I didn't expect all of a sudden to get more than one deal, and I negotiated them, sealed the deal, and then I realized, oh, this is a lot of content in a specific timeline. It got real. It got very real fast.
Yeah.
But it's exciting for sure. Oh, and Jackie here asks, which is the topic of the day, would love to know how you negotiate your rates, which is actually the topic. I may have, she says, I may have my first brand deal and I'm not sure what to charge.
Rates for me, whenever we talk about UGC rates, I'm always like, charge where you feel comfortable. Start where you feel comfortable, because there's no like industry standard. You see people charging like, from $65 all the way up to like $250 for one video. So like if you go into negotiating and you have like $150, or let's say you're charging $150 starting off, you've never done UGC before, you've never worked with a brand before, and that makes you feel uncomfortable, you're going to go into the negotiation with that vibe, and they're going to sense that. So I'm always like, charge where you're comfortable, like whatever it is, you're going to get the experience. It's better than a gifted collab because you're going to get paid, right? Charge where you feel comfortable. And then once you do, get a process in place and you're like, yeah, I can do this. You get that confidence boost. You start bringing it up, every 2 or 3 clients, you bring it up $20, you bring it up $30, you bring it up $50, whatever makes you feel comfortable. So I'm always like, there's no right price. There's no right way to charge.
No. Jackie, it's so funny that you say this about like what you feel comfortable with, because since last week is when I started getting, I've already had contracts, but it wasn't even, it was for content creation, but it was maybe a single video, or it was for creative strategy. So now is when I got deals for multiple paid ads and multiple deals at once. And it's so funny that on one day, Jackie, and I made a post about this, but I haven't posted it because I'm like this. I had an inbound, met with this brand. We decided on a package for paid ads, and I would love your opinion on negotiating organic versus paid as well, Denise. But it was for paid ads, and I say my rates, or he asked for my rates. I let him know my rates. I feel comfortable with it. I know that other people would charge more. Right. But I was scared to charge more, even though I know I can do good work. I was scared. So that's what I charged. And then an hour later, another brand answers back. They had reached out as well that same day, and I had said, yes, let me know more. And basically they let me know their compensation. And for the first brand, 3 videos, $275. That was what I charged. That was what I felt comfortable with.
Right.
Do I know that I could have asked for a lot more? Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I charged. And this other brand for 2 videos offers me $2,000. And I was like, well, of course, ma'am. Yes, you may have my services. So in one day, I had a 3 video deal at $275 and a 2 video deal at $2,000. So it really, really depends on, which is something that Denise will talk to us about, your mindset, like how comfortable you feel and how you negotiate and present yourself. And then your experience, your obviously your presentation, etc.
Right. Oh no, absolutely. And that's, yeah, that's absolutely crazy. And I've had that too, like where you have multiple inbounds or, multiple, you're talking to multiple clients in a day and they're asking for similar things and you're giving different prices because it
Yes.
just, it depends on, it's not just, you can't stick to one price. It just depends. Like sometimes even if like one brand, like for example, if you're getting like newer brands that are like baby brands, I call them, that have just started, they don't have huge marketing budgets, I'm going to
Yes.
charge them less because I do want to help them out and UGC is going to benefit them and it's going to look good for them. It's going to look good for me. So it's fine. I'm going to charge less.
And these baby brands, which is actually this 275 deal is a baby brand. It is literally their first launch of ads. I am their first,
There you go.
and this is the brand that I tweeted about giving them 13 videos.
Oh
Like they
yeah.
asked
Yeah.
for 3 and I sent back 13 because I made like so many different versions of
Yeah.
each concept. Like it
Right.
could be tweaked in different ways, the first or the ending, etc. And I just wanted to give them as much variety with one day's content. And then I accepted 275, and first I said good karma because then I got that other deal.
Yeah.
Even though I
Yeah.
was a little bummed about like only charging 275, and they explicitly stated that they will need more content, and they said that however this like first launch turns out, they're willing to give feedback for a second round, and they will
Right.
also need organic. And that's something I kind of let them know that's more my strength, even
Right.
though I'm gonna make them paid ads. So it's like even though I accept it, but even though if you accept something a little under what you feel your worth is, if it's something that can open up a long-term relationship,
Exactly.
it might be worth it. Just like gifted
Absolutely.
collabs might be the rationale.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, so going towards that negotiating thing, like if they're coming at you with something that is like crazy, like 30 videos for like $200. So as far as negotiating that, you have your price that you're comfortable, like we've talked about, you're comfortable at whatever price it is that you're setting. So you want to negotiate. I have somebody here that said negotiate bundles. So you want to try, maybe if they're offering something very low compared to what you normally charge, you want to lower the deliverables, or maybe offer one video with two hooks, which is easier to film than like, three videos or something like that. So you can negotiate. You don't have to just say no right off the bat when people tell, or when a brand gives you a price. And if they do give you a low price and they're not budging from it, then just, you don't want to like burn that bridge. You just be like, right now I don't have space for this. I have, other brands that will, fortunately I have other brands that are paying my rates, and I don't
Yeah.
have space in my filming schedule, to take on your brand. But please, keep me in mind for the future. When you have more budget, I definitely want to come up to you. So it's all about just framing it to where you feel good. You don't want to feel, icky accepting a price that is like super low. And you
Yeah.
don't want to feel like, oh my gosh, throwing out a price that's too high. So it's what
Yeah.
you feel. It's intuitive. It is. It's about that
Exactly.
mindset.
Jackie here says, would 100 be too much for one TikTok video? I feel comfortable with that, and the quality will be there. Just wanted to hear y'all's opinion since you've done it longer. I personally think that's a great price. That's a great starting price, and especially
Yeah,
because you said that you were comfortable with that one.
exactly. Exactly.
And if you'll give them the quality of a $300 video, they will see that and they
Oh yeah.
will hire you again.
Oh
And
yeah. For
Denise, you're saying that about if you're like feel icky about accepting a price that's too low. That's happened to me a lot on Twitter. Although
yeah.
my baby brand is from Twitter, so I felt I have some hope for Twitter. But before
Yeah.
that, I had basically no hope for Twitter, just because it's been a little chaotic for me, my experience on Twitter. But everyone's is different, and I've had brands there who really lowball me, like they kind of try to make me feel bad about it,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like no, and
Oh
I
yeah,
waited
Laquan,
out
we've
and
worked
look,
with other
last week,
creators
boom.
for $80 or for like $50 a video. Your price is very high. I'm like, okay, well, there's someone for everyone. So there are other creators in your budget, and you have connections with other creators, so you can even suggest some other creators to them. I've done that before. I'm like, I know that these people are in your budget, and I know that they do a good work as well. So reach out to them, and definitely feel free to reach out to me when you're up there again. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot, there are a lot of people on Twitter that they're agencies. And so working with an agency is a little, I feel like you're going to get less with an agency than you will with directly with the brand, because the agency has to take their cut.
I was losing hope with Twitter because of all these, first
Yeah.
the scams, and second the kind of very low prices or low rates, whatever. I wasn't, and the no responses to my, like, yes, I'm interested, which is Jackie reached said, how do you reach out through Twitter? Who do you reach out to? Personally, there's the way that who do I reach out to is just I refresh my feed, and there will be at least
Oh, yeah.
10
We need
either agencies or brands
Right.
saying I need creators. Now, if the post has been published for less than an hour, I might consider
Yeah.
commenting.
Right.
Over an hour, there will just be too many comments, and I'm like, no, probably
Agreed.
no.
Yeah, I try to do like 20 comments. If I'm over 20, if there's over 20 comments, I'm not even gonna go in there because people.
That's a great benchmark, because actually this baby, yeah, I'm sorry, this is like
It's okay.
this baby brand, Jackie Jackie and Denise, that I landed this past week, and I just got paid. Like, I sent the deliverables. I'm just waiting on them to decide like the final ones that they want. And then their post had about 23 comments. So it was already an hour, so I was surprised. I was like, But I answered, like, their DMs were open. Thankfully, that's a green flag if their DMs are open, at least.
Yeah.
Because I feel it's more personal than just commenting I'm interested. I directly go to their DMs and like pitch myself in a very personalized way and include my portfolio. And in their case, I included a sample video of a related, so they're a wellness brand. So I included a video from my TikTok that I made related to wellness that I thought could fit their product. And they actually had worked with, like, the owner worked for that brand before. So he was like, I love that video. I used to work for that brand. So it was like really, really a perfect moment. Other than that, it's agencies. And it's a little different, but I have had work from them. And one tactic that I read up on negotiation is trying to find their maximum budget. So you kind of ask, what is your budget? Yeah. And that is something I had never done because I was kind of uncomfortable with it. But with this agency, I decided to do it. I decided to ask, what is your budget? And they replied saying, oh, I saw your portfolio. So they saw my rates. That's something I want. Oh, so they saw my rates. Right. However, I renegotiated saying, oh, those are my starting rates. Exactly. You are asking for paid ads. My rate would be this. And they accepted. So that was a form of negotiation, and won't necessarily work every time, but in that case it did.
Right. No, absolutely. I'm on the other side of that, asking brands for their budget. I don't like, this is my rate. This is my starting at rate. There's room for negotiation up or down, depending on the attitude of the agency or brand. Because you know how some agencies are kind of like, they're like pushy and kind of rude sometimes. Yeah. So if you're nice and you're coming at it, from like a let's collaborate type thing, then I may come down for you to work with you. So I always do starting at, like, I have it on my portfolio and these are my rates, and and I'll mention it if I feel like that vibe that they're like looking for a lower price. I'll be like, there's room for negotiation, but these are my rates starting at, whatever. And I have my rates on my portfolio. That's another thing that people I know is a hot topic on Twitter. Put them on or don't put them on. So I've been doing brand and web design prior to this for like 3 years on my own. And then prior to that, I was doing it just with an agency. Everybody that does services, pretty much everyone puts their rates in there. So I do. It's like a standard practice just for websites in general for services. So yeah, I put them in there. I think that's my thought.
Me too. I think I still have literally every brand still asks me for my rates. Exactly. And the only agency who didn't ask me for my rates, he was already ready to send me the product. And that's what I was like, excuse me, what is your budget? I'm going to send a contract. That's why I turned the question on him. And
Yeah.
he was already expecting my portfolio rate, but I was like, no, 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 no. We talk
What do you
about these
need?
things.
Right, right, right.
So yeah, every other brand, even though I have them on my portfolio, asks me for my rate, or like this other brand told me, here you go. This is
This
what
is
we're
what we're
gonna
gonna
give
give
you.
you. That's
This,
fantastic.
and I'm like,
That's
I
amazing.
have no problem with
Yeah.
that.
Do you have to post on your on socials for them, or oh my god,
Oh
that's
no, it's UGC, it's organic UGC.
yeah, that's amazing. Oh my gosh.
I'm excited. Yeah,
Send
I
it
just
my way.
filled through the creative brief. How, ooh, I don't know if you have, Jackie here says, how do you pitch yourself in a personalized way?
I have a template that I use generally, but there's a section, like a whole section that it's personalized for the brand. So in emails, it's interesting because you can't pitch videos, like, or you shouldn't, because it might go to spam. And I don't even put my my website link in there. So
Really? That's good to know because I haven't had any real luck with Outbound. I'm not the best at follow up, but I've been thinking like on Twitter I have luck when I insert my portfolio and
uh-huh,
a video.
I know.
So I'm like, should I? And I've seen some comments and tweets of people saying that they do send links, not attachments, but links. And I'm like,
Mhm.
should I experiment?
You should. I keep hearing the same, but I've actually found lately that I'm getting more responses by not including it. So here's the breakdown kind of my pitch. I do a compliment or some kind of, good thing about the brand. Maybe something I love about the brand, something that the brand is doing great, something that, a compliment, something that makes them feel good from the beginning. And then I think in the second part, I insert some like market analysis, maybe like I've checked you out, I've checked out your marketing on Twitter or not on Twitter, on TikTok or on Reels, wherever they are more active. And it seems that this is doing well and this is doing well. Have you thought about doing this? Maybe adding more videos with brands or adding more, whatever. I mean, more videos with hooks or whatever the case may be. So to give them a suggestion.
They're tapping. I love when
Yeah,
they
yeah.
send.
Give them a suggestion, and then I introduce myself as a, hey, this is what I can do for you. So that's what I think I made a tweet about it recently. I know that I have a lot of creators, because I've talked to them, start with, hey, here's me, this is me, this is what I do, this is what it's got to be about the brand. So that's how you do that's how I do it personally. Compliment for the brand, some kind of analysis about their outreach or their marketing. Then I introduce myself, and then what I can do for them, and then would you like to see my portfolio? And yeah, that's how I've been getting a lot of like, yeah, sure, send your portfolios over. And then in that, I've gotten the mix of like, yeah, sure, yes, we need a creator, and a lot of, no, we don't need a creator right now. But at least you put yourself out there, and at least they saw your portfolio, and you know that they're responding. So a no is better than being ghosted. So, because you've opened that dialogue. So that's how I do that, Jackie.
Got it.
How do you do it? How do you?
Have either of you heard from Octoly, not of Octoly? That is an more influencer targeted platform, although a lot of UGC creators I know are on there as well for the gifted collabs, for learning what brands are looking for creators, and for just like work in general. But I've personally not been on there. I do know like Jazz personally is an influencer, a creator,
Yeah.
a creator I know. She has gotten a lot of work from Octoly and a lot of other people too. It's definitely one of the OGs. So I think you'd be great for it, Jackie, if you want, for sure. And
Yeah.
then she asked, what is organic UGC?
Oh, you want to do that one?
So organic UGC is basically content that the brand would post on their social media. So
Right.
not content that would be sponsored, like an ad that you would scroll. So it's content that they post on their page.
Paid ads usually have a very structure too. Like they have the hook, the issue, the problem, the resolution, and the call to action. It's very structured. Whereas organic is everything else, like
Like
trends,
trends, exactly. I was
get
gonna
ready
say.
with me, lifestyle vlogs, that kind of stuff is more organic. That's the
Typically
main
without
difference.
your face, not necessarily like both organic or paid ads can or cannot be with like with your face. I wouldn't say there's one or the other that I would see a face more.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. Did she ask that you have to use your face? Because I I always recommend adding your face in, because it part of UGC is the fact that like you're hearing it from somebody that's like you, right? That's the biggest thing. It's somebody that you can relate to. You know, TikTok is pushing it for some reason because you know you have something in common with that person. So generally video, or at least what I've heard from brands too, videos that have the face, like your face and maybe your voice, even if it's not your face, like your voice, do better than none.
Yes, literally the brand, the baby brand, that's I'm gonna reference them
Let's
now.
call it baby brand. Yeah.
They specifically asked for, although they asked for ASMR, they wanted my voice and then they also wanted my face. They said, we want that face in our videos.
What we
That
want.
that face. And then another brand from an agency, they sent out a brief with examples of bad UGC and good UGC, and
Okay.
all the bad UGC was faceless and speechless. Like they either had, it was all aesthetic with no text or just text and maybe voice to text.
Yeah.
So it wasn't personalized, and all the good UGC was someone, with the structure,
Yeah.
a video with structure or really relatable. Actually, not even with structure. It could just be me, like, guys, I have to tell you something, but, very relatable, very in
Exactly.
your face, personal.
Exactly. Agreed. Agreed. I have a question here from Vali. She says she wants to move away from paid ads and do more organic long-term clients. What's a good way to pivot? Okay, so she feels she's stuck doing the paid ads because that's what brands see from her and that's what they expect. So, I mean, firstly, I would say put more of that in your portfolio. Put more organic in your portfolio. And I know a creator that separated paid and organic. Like she has two different sections for it on her website, specific, like with two different price ranges. And I think she charges a little bit less for organic because it's less structured and just more like you can do a trend video in like 10 minutes. So maybe if you want to put that in your portfolio that you can do one or the other, just kind of start pushing it. And the long-term brands that I've gotten most of them have been after I do some kind of paid ad for them, at the end, be like, oh, it was so great working with you. I hope we work together in the future. Also, I do like month-long contracts. I can make organic videos for your socials that you can post on there. I can even help manage your TikTok if you want, whatever the case may be. And they're like, oh shoot. So like 3 of them have taken me up on it. Like, oh crap. Yeah, I do. I need that. I want that. And it's always easier to, work with somebody that's already worked with you, especially for these longer, larger projects, because they know that you're going to deliver and they know that you're going to provide good work. So always tack it on when you're done working with your brands. And if you think you had a good relationship with them and you turned in good work and you jived with them, let them know, let them know that you provided. That's the easiest way to start getting these longer term clients.
I was also going to suggest to reach out to brands that have, like on TikTok, that have a lower, either you realize that they need someone to create more consistent content for them because they're maybe posting one TikTok per day or less, but they have a low following, so you can create and curate concepts for them that will gain engagement and grow their audience.
Absolutely.
I think those are my two biggest, like reaching out to brands per se.
That's another thing that
but presenting yourself, I think that was a great tip, Denise. Like presenting yourself for organic right after you do the
that's been the easiest way to do it. But definitely, that concepts that you mentioned, that presenting concepts to the brand, that's another thing too. That was something that I offered a brand instead, because doing a lot of videos a day is a lot, for a person. So I was like, we can do a hybrid. Like I'll do like 3 videos for you and then I'll give you the concepts and you can do the rest, because she wanted to be in her TikToks as well. So that totally worked out for her and we were able to lower the cost and she was able to get her videos. So that's
I love this hybrid because it would have saved like my creative briefs. I don't know if you how structured and fixed they are for you, but my brain, like if you've seen my content, I give out content ideas. It's because like my brain doesn't shut off and I feel like I need to create everything. So instead of creating them, I share them. I share them,
Yep.
and that's a way of me like bringing them to life through others. And so when a brand reaches out to me and they don't give me a brief, like I have to fully, it's like, wow, it's a 2 to 3 page thing, because I can't just give them a full concept already until I make it. I can give them
Right.
a variation of each component of the video, like the hook, the body, the closure, whatever, the call to action. And then I created 13 versions, like for this brand. So
Yeah.
it's like a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, definitely, yeah, creating concepts is a lot.
And I like that you do the hybrid, the hybrid concept, because that way I could have just said, oh, what if I create 3 and then I'll give you all these ideas
Yeah.
and you can buy them, etc.
Yes.
Actually,
Yeah.
my first deal, as when I published my portfolio, 2 days later, I had an inbound, and it wasn't for content, for creating content. It was a monthly retainer for concept, for trend and concept curation. And it's been great. Like I don't have to create it. I just have to think about it and give them the details and the guidelines, and then they decide which ones are going to be created, and they find the creators for it.
Right. Because I mean, like, you got to think about, not everybody knows how TikTok works, and they're not on the platform scrolling, 10 hours a day like we are. So it's perfect. It's a win-win for them. And a lot of the concepts, if you have the concept, like, when you get the briefs from the brands and it tells you what to do, like, it's so easy because it's already there. You just have to film it and put in the little text and all that kind of stuff. So definitely, I love giving content. I think it's like a win-win for everybody. I have a question here real quick that says, from Colleen, I'm struggling with subject lines on emails. Can you share?
I was actually going to ask you about that when we were talking about the pitches, because
Okay.
I definitely agree and have heard that you shouldn't go with a very bland subject line, because who wants to see that? There's a human being at the other side of that email with probably so much to do and so many the same emails. And we would like to, I'm sure they would like to open every single one, but they want something to make them feel alive, to catch their attention for a second, for that second that they're looking at the screen. So I think that you should make it as eye-catching as you want. And I go for the funny route. I'm like, I know it's a Monday, but you don't want to miss out on this. Or it's almost Friday, but I'm worth the 2-minute stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Like something that catches their attention.
I do. Like, I've been watching you with the little creepy the little eyes from the from the emojis. I also have, like, that song from Foreigner. It's like, I've been waiting for a girl like you. Well, so I'm like, I've been waiting for a brand like yours, and then I'll type it, like, if we heard Foreigner in the in the first line, I type in, if you heard Foreigner in that subject line, we should be friends. And then you go into it. So you just catch the attention of people. I mean, so try to be, don't worry about being weird. I mean, that's what's going to catch the attention. Like, I saw somebody, or rather, I was reading a book when I was a brand designer, when I was a web designer.
Jackie was just signing off and saying, thank you so much for this, beauties. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Take care. Good night. She was like, she was a web designer, and she wasn't figuring out how to catch the attention. And she's like, her attention grabber was like the worst web designer like ever, or something like that. I was like, oh. And it would, like, her open rate was like much more. You just have to catch the attention. Don't feel weird about being silly. Like, you need to, it's practicing your hooks is what it is.
And speaking of hooks, although she laughed, but Jackie had asked, guys, I have to tell you something. Is that a hook for a more organized UGC? I always, and I share about hooks, and I'm constantly researching when on the TikTok ad creative center, like, what is a hook? And it's so funny because of course there are the hooks that they're hooks, like, oh, here are 3 reasons, or, oh, TikTok made me buy it. Like, we know those are hooks. But there's the, like, more like this. Guys, I have to tell you something. Like, it is a hook. It could be a hook.
It stops you. Like, wait,
it's
what did she
almost
say?
about presentation.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
you've also, I think it was, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was you. At some point, you had a video about visual hooks. And that's actually something I provided a lot of for I was inspired by you. I provided for my videos. Do you, like, when you are negotiating your price, do you ask if they are providing a creative brief before? Is that something that you talk about in the contract and the discovery call? I've had it be different with every brand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, not every brand will provide. Some brands you're working with UGC for the first time, so they don't even know what comes next. I always ask them if there needs to be a creative brief. It doesn't change the price. It's just to know whether I'm going to need to think about it or not. And it also depends on, because I send a brand intake form usually to learn more about the brand. So if they don't send a brief, I know I got to send the form out to get more information. But if they do send a brief, then we're golden, and that's fantastic. And I love it. That's what I do with that.
And then I've heard that voice and face videos have higher engagement than none. I feel that's true for
100%.
paid, honestly. And then you said structure, issue, problem, call to action. Yes.
Yes.
Do you structure every single one of your videos or only paid ads?
Only the paid ads. Only paid ads. And it doesn't have. It's hook. You got to put in the hook because that's what's gonna stop the scroll. And the paid ads are conversion driven. Like you need to get them the views, or you need to get them to stop and click or swipe or whatever it is that they want to do. You need to get it. That's what they're working with you for. So
I am
there's
so sorry. I really
so
am.
yeah, it's always, hook, and then it can be, problem, solution, call to action. It can be like story, like a story about yourself, and then the product, how the product solved that problem, and then call to action. Or it could be like the hook, social proof, like of, whatever, and then the call to action. So there's like a few ways to structure it, but
Mhm.
it's always a little bit, it's always hook, sandwich, and then, the hook and the call to action sandwich it. So yeah. Stay at home, the mom, she's asking for example of hooks for paid. Oh girl, there's so many.
I was on the TikTok Creative Center just recently, and there some hooks can apply for organic and paid ads. It's again just depending
Yeah.
on how you frame it, especially when you have paid ads that you don't want to be too salesy.
Yeah.
So in essence, they're an organic UGC disguise, like or a
Yeah.
paid ad
Oh yeah.
disguise, and it's organic. So saying like um I've been looking for, and then I've been looking for I've been looking for a brand I've been looking for a gut healthy snack that doesn't feel, or that doesn't break the bank or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I've been looking for good hook, or here are 3 reasons why you need to buy this right now, which is a big
That's a
one. I mean,
classic.
that
Yeah.
is a hook for a paid ad. But there's
Yeah.
this is like on Jeopardy, or when you see trivia, someone on television and they're like freeze and you're like, it's so obvious, why don't they answer it?
Oh yeah.
But when you're on the spot, it's not the same.
It's hard to think of them. Yeah, yeah. No. I mean, there's so many. The TikTok make me buy it is a classic. Like people will stop, and I hate hooks. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like these kitschy hooks, like the 3 reasons why, or like if you need this, or if you do this,
I
you
was
need
gonna
to
say
get
that.
this,
You,
or
yeah,
if you want to have this, you need
yeah,
this. I hate
yep,
them. I hate them. But they stop the scroll. Like they work.
exactly,
They work. Like people
yeah.
still stop. And I even fall victim to them sometimes. I'm like, oh, hey, that's me. And like, you go and you look at it. So they work, and, just do them. And I mean, I know there's a lot of talk on Twitter and marketing and all that kind of stuff that they're like, oh, these hooks have been working like forever. Like print ads, TV ads, like they work, and they're just the worst, but they work. So I mean, it's a matter of trying it out too for the brand, because they're not going to work for every brand. Like,
Oh my God, you read my mind. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna
yeah,
say, honestly, it's all about
yeah,
experimenting, not just you as a creator, but
right,
them as a brand. Like maybe it works for some brands or some
right,
specific product or service, but not for others, and
yeah,
that's okay. That's totally fine.
yeah,
Like for testimonials work better, for some
yeah,
aesthetics work better.
absolutely, absolutely. I always, that's why I like when we're doing the like extra, going the above and beyond for the brand, I always throw in like a different hook for each video because it's super easy to just film like the first 3 seconds or just change the text on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps them with their testing because they need to be testing. I mean, that's what brands need to be doing.
Have you had any recent experience where you had to negotiate or like a back and forth, or do you remember one from when you were starting out, maybe when you were less kind of strict about your worth?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, even still, even now, you know, brands, I had a brand that was like, recently last week, I guess, they wanted to come in at $80. And I was like, for one video, I was like, well, first of all, one video isn't going to do much for you. I hate doing one video jobs because they're not going to really provide value for the brand. I feel like that they're good maybe if you want to see if we work together well. What are you going to do with one ad? Unless you're getting like a whole bunch from a bunch of different creators,
Mm-hmm.
potentially. But regardless, yeah, so it was one video and they wanted to come in at $80. And I was like, well, I don't really have space for just one video right now. How, you know, what, and I explained to them, you say, one video isn't going to, I said just that one video isn't going to do much. You know, I can provide you one video with 3 different hooks. How about that? Let's put the price at 150 because it's, you know, changing the hooks is not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my price for one video, 150. So it was kind of getting them
Mm-hmm.
up to where they wanted. And they came back, you know, we can't do 150. 150 is still too much. How about, you know, I think they came like to 95. I was like, okay, well, how about how about we do like, you know, the 3 hooks and the like change the call to action as well. And we'll keep it at 150. And then finally it was like, okay, yes, let's do the 150. They ended up getting essentially, if you want to count each one as a separate video, it's like 5 video or 6 videos because they
Change.
changed the hooks
Yeah.
and changed the call to actions. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, shit, you guys totally ended up winning on this one. But it didn't take much more work on my end, and it got them up to what I usually charge for one video. So yeah, I mean, negotiate with them. And if they're stuck on a price that you're not okay with, it's okay to say, look, pass the buck. You can be like, no, somebody else. You're like, here, go get somebody else. This community is huge. Somebody else will take it. You know, leave me alone, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I
Of
mean,
course.
you don't want to burn the bridge like that either. And usually, if you're friendly, they'll stay friendly too. And it's just a matter of, you know, talking it through to where both of you feel comfortable.
Have you
That's most of it.
kind of had experience negotiating or expanding packages? Like, oh, you had 3 to 7, or package to a monthly retainer or something like that.
Yeah, mostly it's just explaining the fact that this was last month. I think one brand was doing 3 videos, and I was like, look, let's do the 3. Um, but I am very sure that more than 3 is going to be much better for you. And we started with 3. And then again, like I did when I was telling Valley at the end, you know, when they got the 3, I was like, so what do you think about doing some more? And it's like, yeah, let's do some more. It's all about, I think, presenting it how it's going to help the brand. Because and using some of this is why learning a lot about marketing and all that kind of stuff beforehand is helpful, or at least while you're doing UGC, because you can present yourself as a resource to the brand. You're saying, you know, if you're throwing out things like A/B testing and like, you know, different hooks, different call to actions, they're like, okay, maybe she knows what she's talking about. Let's go ahead and try this. And it's like, you need to, or even, you know, your knowledge of TikTok. Hey, TikTok is not going to take one video and make you go viral. That's just not going to happen. I mean, it might, like 1 in a million, but it's not. So you're going to need a lot of videos. You're going to need consistent amount of videos. You're going to need different hooks. You can even use the same video multiple times, change the song, like do a trend.
Yeah,
I'll
especially as
explain
a
to them.
paid ad. I think
Yeah.
that's even like if it's an organic post, like okay, you can't be running like posting if you like the same exact post with a different
Yeah.
song every month. But if it's
Right.
a paid ad,
Well,
that's
even so.
totally acceptable. Let's not so a different hook, a different call to action. We don't
Yeah.
even notice it. I mean, we notice it if it makes a positive impact.
Right. Well, even in organic, you can repost a lot of stuff. Like your organic only gets pushed out to X amount of your followers, and then it gets pushed out to, you know, the FYP. That's what you want. So I'm all about reposting. Like
I'm all about restructuring a content idea. Like I
Oh
love
yeah,
the videos that show you how to take one piece of content and
yeah,
like creating 20 ideas out of that.
right,
That's basically what we do by changing the hook, by
right,
changing the call to action. So I think that's a great way to negotiate, like showing
yeah,
your value, how much value and your knowledge, which is why I posted the terminology post today, because
yeah,
these words like
yeah.
call to
Things to
action and
know,
all these things
right?
that you've said, it shows.
Your authority. It shows that you know what you're talking about, and it gives the brand more like reassurance, I guess, that
Yes, especially
you're
since
gonna
we
do a
don't.
good thing for them.
Yeah, especially since we don't have a degree. Like we don't, like I
Right.
personally don't have a marketing degree. Like it gives you more validity
Yeah.
um as a creator, as a freelancer, etc.
Right.
And then you negotiated packages to monthly retainers.
Yeah.
Have you negotiated, or maybe at first, or maybe you still do, gifted to paid?
Yeah. I think I only had one success doing that. um, and it was because in the beginning when I was doing the gifted, I just didn't think about negotiating them into paid. I saw somebody post something about like, oh, I sent them the video that they wanted, and then I sent them like two more videos, and then they wanted to purchase those videos like as purchase, and I was like, oh my god, that's so smart, and I did that, and it worked. So she had what I did, or well, similar to what she did, I guess. What I did was I just created the video that they wanted, and then I did do like the multiple hooks, and I had like 5 videos. Like you had the 13. Actually,
Mhm.
when I saw that post, I meant to comment, but I went to do something else. You should offer to sell it to them. Like, hey, would you guys be interested in purchasing all these other ones that I made at even like 100, two, one, or you already made them. So, be like, would
I
you do these for
I
like a
will. I'm
hundred
so
more?
shy. This is why I wanted to talk. I'm so shy
No.
about my own work. But I'm gonna do it. And
You
I wanted to hear
yeah.
about your paid to, like, your gifted to paid, because I'm still most of my like collaborations from May, yeah,
Yeah.
from May were gifted,
Yeah.
and still have some from June. Like I still have some that come in, just
Yeah.
they, and I want to know, like, there's no commitment with them mostly, or
Right.
there's like an unboxing, which to me is like, I already do that. Like any
Right. Right.
package to me is
Yeah.
untouchable
It's filmed.
until it has been recorded.
Yeah.
So I already do that. It's really nothing to me. But I am trying to like receive these gifts and try to pitch them back the video to sell it. So I'm waiting on responses. I'll let you know. But I
Yeah.
wanted to see if you had a strategy for that or something. But
It's
it
just
is it is definitely kind of more tedious
yeah.
where I feel it's more of a tedious negotiation when they are going straight from gifted. Like they are, yes, we would love to send you this in exchange for a video, and they already have
Well,
very
so
specific intent.
yeah, so I was able to do that only because I did it that one time. And then what I generally do is I actually recently, now that I think about it, maybe a couple weeks ago I had a gifted one that I wanted to do. Sometimes I won't argue it if it's gifted because I don't really, it's not a
Mind.
product that I must do, but this was I really wanted to try it. So I was like, yeah, look, I only take X amount of gifted per month, which I do. I only do like three gifted per month because I don't have space for that. So I this month I'm not, it's taken up. I can put you in the roster for next month, but how about we do, I can offer you, instead of the one video that you want, let's do, and I lowered my rate for it because I really wanted to try it. I was like, let's do the one video with these multiple hooks thing is like, brands love it. So start doing that.
Got it.
I was like, okay, so let's do this. Yeah. Yeah. I have someone here that says they use that as well. They love multiple hooks because you can test it and they have the video and whatever. So yeah, I was like, let's try to do this. Let me give you the one video. Let me give you the multiple hooks. So it's going to be a total of like 4 videos for you. Do you have room in your budget to do this amount? And the brand said yes. And if they say no, like if you want to do gifted, if you want to do it gifted with them, you know, go ahead and be like, maybe in the future, or usually they'll say in the future we'll have. So that's always a good way to build a relationship with the brand, like you talked about earlier. You know, you don't want to turn them away, but it is kind of, I mean, I find that it's been tough to turn the gifted ones because
Yeah.
they probably don't have a budget, or they don't really yet haven't seen any return from it, maybe. They don't see the value in it yet.
Got
So it's about you explaining to them, look, oh, okay, and I remember another one that I was like, I
it. Here.
film it, I script it, I edit it, like it takes all this stuff that I'm doing. And they're like, oh shoot, yeah, okay. So that one was negotiated from a lower price to a higher price. You ran around a little circle. So that one wasn't gifted to paid, but it was from a lower price to a higher price because I was like, look, you're asking, you know, $100 fine for this one video, or however, I forgot how much it was because it was a while ago. But look, you're not giving me a script. I need to script it out. I need to put in the editing. I need to pick a song. I need to do the, you know, film. And this one was like on location. It was to the beach. I had to go to the beach. So this isn't cutting it for me. So it's just a matter of making them see the value in it. And if they don't, you know, some won't. And that's when you make the call whether you're going to work with them or you're going to, you know, pass it on.
And then Lorena, I'm sorry that I I forgot about your earlier question. She said tips on finding brands for cold pitching. And then she asked as a follow-up, where have you found the most clients? So for outbound, like, yeah, for outbound specifically.
For outbound, I mean, I generally just look at whatever ads are being shown to me.
Okay.
On because if you interact with the ad as well, like they'll show you more of it or more styles like it. And usually it's on Instagram. If you go into your Instagram stories, and like every 2 or 3 stories, there's gonna be an ad. So go check it out. Like check out their TikTok. That's why I feel like when people are like, "Oh, I pitched 20 brands today." I mean, yeah, maybe if that's all you did in the day, I can't. I have no idea how. I don't.
I suck at pitching
Well,
because
yeah,
it takes me a lot because I
yeah,
really think personalized is
right.
better.
Oh yeah,
I
you
think
get
it
better
is, and it
response. I
takes me
think
a
you get
lot.
better response. I agree. And right, so that's the process. I'll find the brand, okay? Then I'll go look up all their social medias. I'll go look up their website. I'll go look at them on LinkedIn and see if I can't, because on LinkedIn you can, if you type in the brand, you can see people that work in the brand, and I'll see if I connect with them or if I, you know, whatever I can. If you find like a marketing person, try to connect with them and send them a little message, or if you can. Um, and then what else? Like you got to do all that. So that takes like 5 minutes. Go.
Yeah, I was gonna say so Lorena, for the link, so tips for cold pitching, I would say make it as person because you're a
Oh yeah.
complete stranger. You
Right.
need to make it as memorable and personalized as you can. So it does take more time, but in my opinion, the more value you give in that email, the better. So
Right.
first, using verbatim that is in their own website
Yes.
to
Yes.
appeal to them, to like what is their vision, their mission, what reviews or good reviews have they gotten, like what do their audience talk about, and kind of throw it back at them. And
Yeah. Oh
then
yeah.
what can
You're
you
right.
offer, what are you like, show them a bit. Obviously this is difficult because you can't, if you link, you can experiment with linking in your emails, but if you
Yeah.
don't link, what I do is like lay out the
The
concepts for them
concept of the video. Yep.
of the videos that I could do. And I'm incorporating this recently. I'm trying to use more marketing terminology within my pitch.
Yeah.
Again, it's a lot of work, and normally you have
Right.
the gatekeeper first, especially if you have the
Right.
help at or support at
Yeah. Or
emails.
info
So
at. Right.
it is,
Yeah. It takes like 20 minutes to get a good email up and out. I think like 15 to 20 minutes. Maybe if you can do it quickly, 10 to 20 minutes, because you need to do, or at least I do. I do too. I do all that research. And like I said, I have been finding that you'll get better response rates when you can give them something. I'll even say like, hey, look, your best videos on this thing have been lifestyle or get ready with me's. Do more of that. Like that's gonna get the engagement.
I
So
I also do that, especially because
Yeah.
my strength is organic, so I really lean into the like I look into their so I typically if they have a TikTok, I say, "Oh, you're like I think this is like your top videos are this, I can recreate it in this way, or I can make this more ideas or like add as much value as you feel
Yeah.
comfortable there within." Or if you want to lean into the paid ads, give them a structure of a paid ad that you would do for them. So it's depending on how much time you want to invest into that cold pitch. I know there's people who receive good feedback even without making it so
Yeah.
personalized because so it really is about experimenting and seeing what is
What
working for you
works.
best. Give it a
Right.
week. Give each strategy I say a week or two and or a
Yeah.
month, whatever you feel comfortable with. It's just I know with UGC I feel like everyone wants to rush a bit.
Oh,
So it's like or everyone feels rushed because
right.
it feels like a
Because
rush in
everyone's posting their
everybody.
wins every day, and you're like, oh my God, everyone's getting all these deals. Why am I not? Like, even I had that, like, these past couple weeks. I'm like, where's everybody getting all these deals? I'm not getting anything. Yeah, it's definitely trial and error. And, I did like copy and paste pitching at the very beginning because I didn't know any better. And that gave zero results. That's why definitely the more personalized stuff has gotten me at least it's gotten me like two yeses and it's gotten me a bunch of no's, but at least I've gotten back no's and I know that they don't want, or they don't need it or they're looking for something else or they're going to open up and like they'll give me more information. So yeah, definitely personalized is the way to go.
And follow back, Lorena, also on those cold pitches. Like sometimes there's so
Oh
many,
yeah.
and maybe your first tactic didn't work. Follow up on those
Oh yeah.
brands that didn't answer with your second tactic and see if that one works. And that makes it even more controlled as a scientist. I think that's even better. Because
Yeah,
you're
for
like,
sure. Cause
same
they've seen
people.
your name again.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
It takes about 7 times for you to
Right,
be
to
memorable,
buy,
right?
right. Why wouldn't it take 7 times for them to want to work with you? Yeah, definitely. I follow up. I followed up most like 4 times. I think is my max, and nobody's ever told me to leave them alone. So it's
Mm-hmm.
totally fine. Like follow up.
Yeah,
They probably didn't even see you. They answered on the fourth one, by the way. So like do it.
nice.
Okay. How do you send the multiple hooks and CTAs? Do you send the hooks and CTAs in different videos? Yeah. So I film mostly in CapCut. So in CapCut, you're able to I just duplicate the video and then just change the parts that I want to change. And if I do it on TikTok, you can download the video or screen record it, however you do it, and then just go back and change the little part that you're gonna change. So it's not that. That's why I say it's not hard to do.
I do it two ways. So either I usually have a bunch of different hooks and call to actions already on the creative brief, and they can either select their like structure, they can click on and create their video if they want
Nice.
to, or they can give me creative freedom.
Oh, that's
Hence the
cool.
13 videos that I made with like all the different versions, and I made it on CapCut so I could just easily copy and change the edit. It's really simple, honestly,
Yeah,
with that, at least with that editing app. And
absolutely.
then here I was gonna say, yeah, Lorena also asked, where have you found the most clients inbound? She says, have you found it? She said, mentioned TikTok, Twitter, and have you found anything on Pinterest? So I know Denise, you said you were getting back on Pinterest, right?
Yeah, so I've been doing Pinterest 2 weeks now, like posting. Okay, I haven't been doing it. My VA's been doing it. She's been like super amazing at it. She's posting like 3 to 5 times on Pinterest with idea pins because you can schedule them out, so it's not like all
Mm-hmm.
her posting every day. And it's grown from like 5,000 impressions to like 20,000 impressions now.
That's
Uh, yeah, it's really high growth, and I did get one yesterday inbound that because I on my form the link that I put into the pin is a form, and they said that they found me on Pinterest, and I was like, oh, I'm onto something here. So, and I saw today a tweet that someone was like, oh, I got 2 inbounds from Pinterest. I'm like, oh, well, shit, I
yes,
go put more.
that's amazing. I definitely want to hear more about your experience so far with your virtual assistant. I definitely wanted to talk about that because it's something, if I had the money, I can't wait to be paid from all these
Yeah.
like deals because I want to not waste it, invest it all immediately in a VA basically
Yeah.
because I know all of the little loose ends that my brand, my like all the little things. For one, my like scheduling out posts, not just
Yeah.
for Pinterest. I'm very off Instagram at the moment
Oh, yeah.
because I just it takes a lot of energy out of me to post anything on my personal pages. I've gotten better on TikTok. I feel much more comfortable on TikTok, but every single post takes a lot of mental energy. So if I took out like a day or two to schedule out all my posts to the different social media platforms, everything would run much smoother and be
Oh, yeah.
more
Oh, yeah.
optimized. So I think it's beautiful that you have your VA
Oh, yeah.
and
She's
that you've
amazing.
had that growth. So how's the dynamic been?
Oh my gosh, she's fantastic. Before I get into that, let me just answer real quick a question about Fiverr. I haven't done Fiverr, but I've done Upwork, and they're very similar. And I got my first like official job when I said that I'm going full time. I got them on Upwork, and they became a long term client. So I'm down. Definitely get on Fiverr. A lot of people have been
On
having a
fire.
lot of success on Fiverr. I don't think you lose anything. Put it on there, and try to optimize your bio to be found, and get on there. Yeah.
I really don't think the problem is finding finding where to find work
Yeah.
is not the problem for us. I At least in my opinion, there's so many different avenues. There's Pinterest, there's
Yeah.
TikTok, there's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's your email and like your website. There's this Fiverr, there's Upwork, there's the creator platforms. Like through agencies, and then
Yeah.
there's the official creator platforms like Octoly. There's
Yeah.
just so many
Oh yeah,
ways
there's a lot of
for
places
you
to
to
go.
find
Mhm.
brands or like work. It's how you invest your energy and how you present
Exactly.
yourself in each one. I
Right.
haven't been able to invest energy into Fiverr or
Yeah.
Upwork really, but my inbounds, which was Lorena's question, my inbounds have come mostly through email or through my form,
Yeah.
and they have explicitly said that they like saw my TikTok content
Yeah.
or
Or
they saw my
Twitter.
portfolio through Twitter, like they clicked
Yep.
on it and they saw it. So those have been my
Hmm.
two main sources of work.
Yeah. The
And for
same.
gifted, Instagram.
Oh yeah. Instagram likes to give you a lot of gifted things.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So somebody said here they don't understand Fiverr. That's the thing with Fiverr and Upwork. It takes a lot to set up your profile because you need to do the keywords. So in my suggestion, when I was setting it up, I just looked up some people. I just typed in looking for people hiring. I put in as if I was the one hiring and looked at the profiles of people that were doing TikTok ads or
I also did that.
whatever kind of ads. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then
I
look at
looked at a
what
lot.
keywords they have and, see the higher ranking ones and, just
Yep.
take inspiration from them. And that's kind of what I did. And then as you do start getting jobs and you start getting star like ratings and all that kind of stuff, you're going to get inbounds. Like I get inbounds all the time, but they're like low jobs, like low paying jobs. And that's the thing about Fiverr and Upwork. Like the jobs are low and Fiverr and Upwork take 20% of that. So I did it
Yeah.
in the beginning to get started and get that experience. But I think you can move away from that once you get the confidence and have, a better inbound system.
So you could also try to reach out to the brands separately, like brands that you see on
Yeah.
LinkedIn looking for work or
Yeah.
are on these platforms. Try to reach out to them separately.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never know. Priscila asked, did it take you a while to get your first UGC opportunity?
So I started a few months ago when this wasn't so saturated, and it took me I think like a week and a half or so to get my first deal. But I know now that and I've talked to a lot of newer creators, it's taking a lot more because I did that one from Upwork, and then afterwards I just started getting inbounds from Twitter. But it's not as easy as it used to be.
I say I started months ago because I am a firm believer that you don't start when you publish your portfolio. I think you
Yeah,
start with
no, for sure.
learn. Like,
Yes.
and it took me months to learn, and I did invest in courses, and I didn't actually use them, but I did invest in them, so I helped out some creators. And I learned and researched like I do, and then eventually in June, so a month ago, which is I published it actually. So a month
Yeah.
ago, I did launch publish my portfolio. Um, and 2 days later I received my first opportunity, and then 2 days later I received another, and it's been like that. But
Good.
it was after gaining presence, like some sort of
Yes.
like my presence and my confidence on. I had already started my account on Twitter.
Yeah.
I didn't start a new TikTok. I stayed with my own
Right.
TikTok.
So did I. Yep.
um I just started speaking out of this new
About
content
UGC, exactly.
pillar that I had, and
Yeah.
also added started catering my content to the brands, or to that idea. I was fortunate to receive one that quick, but then it wasn't like, oh no, it's
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
It's this.
It's always gonna be like
And I think that's okay. Do you know, I'm sure you do, Maddie, Creatively
yeah.
Maddie.
Yeah.
I was on her live, and she was talking about how she capped out, like she maxed herself out last
Mm-hmm.
month at
Yeah.
10K, because if you're not an
It's
agency, if you're doing
yeah.
this yourself, like
It's
there's
so
only so much we can do,
yeah.
which is what happened to me this week. Like I had gotten a great deal, and then no deals, and then I got a deal, and then another, and then another. I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
wait,
Mm-hmm.
I can't do this in the timeline like all at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's definitely it's for me, it's been like this, but the slow periods are letting you organize
Yeah.
and warm up for the next.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's how it is. That's how freelancing I mean, I've been like an online freelancer for the past 6 years now, and that's just how it always is. Like always. So,
Mhm.
and especially during the summer, like summer people are going on vacations at summer and Christmas, like it's going to be dead. Like don't be afraid. Like that's the time to ramp up your business, your business end, the part that you've neglected and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's what I've segue into that. That's what I've taken my VA for. She is repurposing all my content and putting it everywhere. I'm like, that's what I need you to do right now. I
Yes.
need you to
Yeah.
put it where I can be found, and especially, as if you're building your own brand, like you just need to I know it's hard, but you need
Hmm.
to be everywhere. So
Yep.
you can't
No, yeah.
as a one person, you just can't. You pick your 1 to 2 platforms that you're going to be on, and then when you do get the opportunity to get somebody to help you, like make them go do everything else. So that's what it's been. I mean, she came to me. I posted on Twitter that I was like, oh, I'm thinking about hiring a VA, and she was just like, oh yeah, I'll help you. I'm like, okay. And she you keep going around. That's so funny.
It's a motion sensor light. So I have to
So it doesn't go off. Okay.
I don't understand why they didn't put a motion sensor in the conference room. Like,
Yeah.
how does that make sense? Yes.
Funny. Yeah,
But
so
I really think the VA is a level up, is like boom, a move, a
she's been
big move.
and she was like learning creator stuff too. Like she's doing it. She's has a few clients as a creator, so she knows what we're talking about too. And I'm like, you are a godsend. Thank you for being alive. Like,
I love
she's
that,
amazing.
honestly. I
Yeah.
really do. I can't wait to have one, because I know what I need to do. Like I could be a VA, but then I can't be. I
Oh, you can't
personally
do.
am
I know. Yeah.
handling too many things, not to mention my like I need balance. So I'm all about protecting your energy, and
Yeah.
slow hustle, or no hustle. Like
Yes.
the word
Yeah.
hustle
Yeah.
is not like the my type of hustle is very different. So
I agree.
slow growth here. She said, Priscilla asked, do you ladies use an app outside of TikTok to record videos like CapCut?
Yeah.
I record my videos using my phone, but I edit everything with CapCut.
Yeah. Well, exactly. I don't think you can. Oh, you can film in CapCut. I don't though. Yeah, I do all the clips on my phone and then put it into CapCut. And then sometimes I will, if it's like a trend, I'll do it on TikTok. It's easier to just do it on TikTok and then download it and then re-upload it in 2K or whatever, like the nicer quality.
Nice.
So yeah.
Okay, yeah, I do most of basically all of my trends on TikTok, and then
Yeah.
everything that's UGC I will do outside. What do you think of brands trying to include whitelisting for UGC content? That's a great question.
You
Have
charge
you
extra
had
for that.
you
Yeah.
haven't had that experience?
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't had well, I have had brands ask for whitelisting, but it was within influencer marketing, so it was
Yeah.
like posts that I posted on my personal page, and then they asked for whitelisting separate to that. I haven't had the experience from like a UGC standpoint, actually.
Yeah, I do. You charge extra for that. Like that's, and I don't do it for every brand. Like I've gotten a few brands like asking for, and I'm like, it doesn't really jive with my audience, so I'm not gonna put it out just to get paid either. Like it doesn't really go with my audience, and I'm not gonna put it in front of them. Sorry. In that case, you can offer a Spark ad, because now TikTok has rolled something out that you can post a Spark. So a Spark ad is basically they're running the ad through your, just a person, like a regular person. And you can turn the ad off on your feed. So it doesn't show up on your feed, but they're still able to run it through your account. So I've offered that in exchange for the whitelist, because I don't want to post your thing on my thing. Like sometimes it's like I forgot what kind of brand, but like I talk about business and UGC, it has nothing to do with like a product. So yeah, whitelisting, you're going to charge extra, and only if it jives with your brand. If not, you can offer Spark ads.
And then do you have any last minute like mindset tips for going into a negotiation or any sort of like deal?
Oh yeah. I know it's easier said than done, but like stick to your guns. I mean, don't let them kind of push you around. Um, because even if you're a new creator, even if you've never created a piece of content before, like don't let them belittle you. Like you are doing this because you have the skill, you were called to do it, and you're learning or whatever the case may be. But like don't let them push you around, and they're gonna try to gaslight you. You've said it. Like they'll make you feel, but they try to make you feel bad for charging what you're charging. It was like, okay, just end the conversation at that point. If they start, like, I don't argue. I don't argue with people. I'm not gonna argue with you. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. If you don't want to deal with it, like, okay, that's fine. Thank you for your time. uh we're not gonna I'm not gonna pursue this at the time. Or if they keep insisting, like I've just ghosted some people, and they don't bother you. So protect, keep, stick to what you want, because that's what you want, that's what you deserve. It's fine. Get it. Go get it, or don't get it. Like
Get that bag. I love that.
go get it. Yeah.
Thank you so I'm sorry to keep you over 10. Thank you so
So
much for this. Honestly, it has been great. I cannot believe the support of the UGC community. Like
I
it
know,
is
right?
crazy how supportive and
Yeah.
like this. Yeah, Sandy says it. She says, thank you for answering her question. How
You're welcome.
supportive and how everyone has just been welcoming to this live in this adventure that I wanted. So thank you for saying yes and being here and sharing your knowledge and your experience with us.
Absolutely. No, thank you guys for showing up and everything.
I can't wait to get more into the UGC community, says Sandy. Oh, yes, this is a
Get
great
in.
community to be in,
Yeah.
and you are definitely, I can't wait to see how much you grow in this and how much we all grow. It's exciting that we all get to, like, I'm seeing everyone's evolution
Yeah. Yeah.
within their brand, like within themselves, and how
Exactly.
each one has, maybe you go more into coaching or more into creation or more into creative director, etc. So it's beautiful to see all
Yeah.
that.
Oh, absolutely. And it's always, I always say, don't get discouraged. It's not for everyone. So like, if you find that it's not for you, like it's okay to pivot into something else. Like you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
do what everyone else is doing. Like it's totally okay. Your growth is not going to be the same as someone else's. Like it's okay. Don't get discouraged, and keep at it. Like like I feel like everyone's always like, oh, I'm getting all these wins, and you're like over here, like, oh, I'm not getting any wins. So like,
Yeah.
don't get discouraged. Either, like stick with it for 6 months, and it's gonna definitely change like your life.
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
all right,
Have
take
a
care.
good
Good
night.
night. Bye.